Now that the Chapter 267 leaks are out and translated, let's give you guys a summary. So if you don't want spoilers, back out now. Chapter starts off with Yuta and Gojo talking during body swap training. Yuta asks Gojo if he can have Sukuna's last finger so Rika can eat it, and he can copy Sukuna's shrine technique. Gojo basically says, hell nah boy, think about it. Gojo tells him it'll meet the requirements of his copy technique, but it will not be enough for him to analyze shrine. Yuta then explains his copy technique a little more. Before I read it, thank you Kata Nada for translating for me, go give her a follow over on X. Yuta says, in order to copy a curse technique, I have to have Rika ingest a portion of the target's body. How much she ingests and what part of the body depends on the target and the amount of times I'd want to use the technique. Think of it like this, depending on the sorcerer, I'd need to take a more lethal portion of the body in order to copy a stronger technique. Even if she doesn't ingest the lethal portion of the target's body, I can meet the conditions by entering a binding vow limiting the amount of uses of the technique. I know this is a summary, but if I don't read the translation, it'll get real confusing real fast. Yuji at the end of the last page asked, what about reverse curse technique? He then further says, like if you took Gojo Sensei's arm to copy Limitless, you know Gege loves putting the cute little drawings in the middle of an intense moment. Gojo arm bitten off, youch. Gojo arm regenerated, fit as a fiddle. Rika Gojo, copy complete. Yuji, then after that, Gojo Sensei could just heal his arm. That way you could at least copy Gojo Sensei and Hikari Senpai's techniques. They'll feel a little pinch, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Yuta, that's a no-go. Yuji, oh. Back to Yuta, the instant the consumed body part is regenerated, the value of that body part immediately plummets to 0 and the requirements for my copy become unfulfilled. If you want to read the rest of that translation, go ahead and pause it. Meimei and Yuta begin talking about Sukuna and Yuji's resonance. Yuta doesn't want Yuji losing composure before the fight. Yuta tells Yuji, Itadori, even though you can't use it right now, Sukuna's curse technique is already etched into your body. Gojo Sensei confirmed it with the 6 eyes. It pans back to the battlefield and Sukuna notices Yuji is missing an extra finger. He says, the finger I tore off was the left pinky to move to Fushiguro's body. Sukuna then has a flashback to when Yuta said, you weren't able to retrieve your last finger, were you? Things start to click for Sukuna and he realizes that Yuta used Yuji's finger to copy his technique. We then get a POV switch to Urahime and Gakuganji at the strung up finger. Alright y'all, get excited. We see a familiar face we haven't seen in a while. Nobara Kugasaki is back. I know this image looks a little cursed, I used AI to color it for obvious reasons. Nobara hits Sukuna with a resonance. She has some words for Yuji and Yuji is almost in tears, you guys. You cannot tell me blood did not feel this. His eyes rolled into the back of his head. Once again AI colored. Yuji then hits Sukuna with a dismantle. Sukuna is big mad now. He tells Yuji, you can't flay me with this superficial domain. He then says Yuji hasn't been using reverse curse technique to heal his wounds, and that Yuji is way past his limit. He elaborates more saying that Yuji's the one on the ropes with this domain. Yuji then punches Sukuna, and the translation says, a double impact after a time lag. Yuji gets that look in his eye as he loads up to punch Sukuna while saying, Sukuna, it's time to end this. We then get an insane double spread of Yuji rocking Sukuna with a black flash. Editor's note, ringing the bell on a long fight. No break next week. Let me know what you guys thought about the chapter down in the comments.